I think the idea is political will. I think the whole idea is countries will have to weigh in their own national interests over the global interest, the planetary interest. They have to look at investments for the future of this planet. So I think it's more about national agenda versus global agenda. It's more about how we, at the national level, are able to put in some priorities for the existence.
Dr. Salami, has the world made tangible progress in implementing the Loss and Damage Fund pledges approved at the COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh that took place here in Egypt?
This summit, firstly, the COP in 27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, it can a very important event because they signed about this the event and financing the fund, as well as the COP held in UAE, to gather all relevant bodies, whether they are the defendant on protecting the environment and the climate, and from the other hand, the producers and the manufacturers of the fossil industries, and they made a progress in the form of the fund. Now, in Baku summit, the summit will be a technical one and a summit for the $100 billion US fund. There's no progress about it. Therefore, there should be a review for this this goal from the sides of financing and the commitments from one hand, and from the other hand, the idea of the exchange of carbon for the polluted country and the non-polluted country that were out of the framework. Therefore, it is proposed upon the agenda of the dialogue. Thirdly, this summit, as we noticed, it will be a technical one, and we shouldn't expect a big result. But I think...
Sir, I'll be back to you again to discuss the technical issue and why it's a technical summit. But Dr. Sarhan, great progress was made in the COP27 and COP28. But how does the COP29 aim to build on these outcomes, sir?
Right. So COP27, which was held in Sharm el-Sheikh, we have witnessed a milestone for any climate summits. Well, the birth, I would say, the very difficult labor that we had for the birth of the Loss and Damage Fund was actually done in Sharm el-Sheikh.
Okay, sir, could you tell us more about the Loss and Damage Fund for our viewers to know more?
Okay, so the Loss and Damage Fund basically is the idea is trying to bring the concept of climate justice into context and into the right perspective. Whereby,
perfect, sir. Continue your answer, please.
I'm sorry, can you come again? Sorry.
Go on with your answer.
Sure. Okay. So essentially, the climate, the Loss and Damage Fund we were trying to put in a very important principle here, which is countries that have no historical responsibility for climate change since the Industrial Revolution, not then and not now, no current responsibility, and they're the most vulnerable. They are being devastated by extreme weather events, by flooding, by lots of very short-term onslaught effects of climate change. They are being devastated. They don't have the financial infrastructure. They don't have the ability. They don't have the physical infrastructure to be able to withhold or withstand all the dire impacts of climate change. So rather than expecting some form of humanitarian assistance or humanitarian aid from the developed countries, we would rather have this formalized into some sort of a compensation fund, if you will, some sort of an insurance policy that countries would subscribe to, so that if any of these devastating effects happen, then we would have the mechanism to be able to compensate those countries, especially the most vulnerable developing countries,